think that is helpful, those conversations, and that whatever we can do to provide information, since this falls in our area, to support what you're doing, maybe worth considering. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Ms. Salata.
Thank you. One idea, and I'll just toss it out there, maybe we could put on the FAQ on the website a green card example, like can kind of show people what's where, including that notice piece, because right now I really wish I had a green card in front of me as we're having this conversation. And I actually have a question, and I don't know if Dee would know the answer to this. Have we ever been challenged on the notice of appeal rights for purposes of challenging your assessment in terms of due process? We have. And can you, is it possible to tell me about that?
Taxpayers are also challenging not just for the appeal right, but do they have enough information to know that they should appeal?
Notice.
So there's an attribute on the land attribute or something that the assessor's office is saying is there, and it turns out it really hasn't been there for 6 years. So I think your fact thing is a great thing, because we cannot possibly put all that on the reading sheet. Well, by the way, here's 40 data points, and we found the first 38 apply to you. And so, 2-3 years later, a taxpayer says, wait a minute, I never had a well on my property. And as our technology increases, there's more and more data points. We don't have the storage capacity. So there's all sorts of other stuff that definitely won't fit on a green card. So I think your fact sheet, I think the web page is a great idea. The city keeps track of how many, where there used to be, how many kids on our municipal website, and it's amazing. It's way more than the newspaper. During the foreclosure season, 50,000 people touched that website, and we have those statistics.
I feel like I might be skewing your numbers lately, but yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate that information. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In the same vein, just the public notification, I think, Ms. Salata, you might be able to actually answer this question, because you were just looking, and I didn't bother because I think you already did. But anyway, is it easy to find information about how to appeal on the website? I mean, is it easy to navigate? That would be one question too. The other thing is there's typically kind of a little ticker that runs at the top of the front page of the home page of the municipal website. And it seems to me that there would be a season by which maybe that needs to be a 1 or 2 3-line blurb that runs through that particular, highlight, this is what's going on, you need to pay attention kind of a thing. So I think anything we can do to kind of give people that easier access online is probably fairly easy to do. So, of course, I say that, and I'm not a webmaster, but.
Thank you. Mr. Peterson.
Thank you. And just, as a point of information, a little over 30 years ago, when people were getting those green cards, they were actually hoping that the value was going to be going up, because it had been going down significantly for several years in a row. And so it's, and we don't want to get in a position where we're like that again. I think where people, I know they're complaining about, my value went up, so my taxes are going up. But really, it's much better than if it was going the other way. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Constant.
Thank you. Ms. Kennedy, it's an interesting idea that using traffic as a trigger for what you put up front and center on the website. That is definitely an interesting thing to contemplate. Would require a very limber IT department. Back when we were first on the body, we approved, and this is more a question for, I think, you, Jack, a mainframe software migration to a new system that does your work for you. And I understood that we have been in the process of doing that for a while. Have we migrated? When are we migrating? And are we anticipating and being prepared for the challenges that might come with that?
Yeah, so I can speak a little bit on that. So yeah, it's true. It was a couple of years ago that it was passed by Assembly to do a CAMA upgrade project. Our CAMA system right now, we are still in the mainframe. I believe it was introduced in 1984. Right now we're in phase 2 of that project. It's going well. Essentially what we're doing right now is we are mapping the data to the new system. That does require a lot of labor, as there is a lot of fields that we use, not just on property appraisal side, but also with the treasury side. So once that's done, we're going to be here shortly having a test site here locally built, and we're anticipating it'll be 2021 that will be early 2021 that will be right now tentatively going on.
So just to kind of hone in on that, so then the tax year of 2021 will likely be in the new system, or then it would be the next year?
It'll be the next, for real property would be the next year.
So 2022 in April or May and August, those will be out of the new system.
The new green cards will be based off 2022.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just to further clarify Chris's question, one of the things we did learn is that you find a software system that works and you install it without modifying it, so, or customizing it.
Right.
So what we're doing, and everybody knows this, and we've been talking about this since this process kicked off in March of this year, we are going to install this as designed and learn how to use it, and we are not going to customize it so that when it gets turned on, it'll work the way it's supposed to, and then when we have to upgrade it, we can just upgrade it. And should not run into historical challenges.
So, can you remind me the name of that program that I think he's referring to?
The current one that we're using now.
No, I was just trying to make a joke.
Right.
Apparently, Dick didn't get it.
He
That's
who
okay.
shall not be named.
I think we all know. But it is true. I mean, if I can maybe just expand what Alex is saying, it is true, and I think that there are so many different things of what's going for this project compared to what the other, the three-letter word is. Yes, we are going to be adopting business practices if we need to change it. But the beauty is for this, they've been in business. This is again an upgrade project. They've been in business since the early '80s. As it's the same program we're doing now. It's the same vendor, and so a lot of the business practice of appraisal is going to be. We're actually excited for some of the new abilities that we're going to have integrated that we didn't get back in the 80s. So.
Thank you. Yeah.
I do just want to say, before we end the meeting, that assembly people, I think, need to keep in mind that no matter what happens or how hard we try to educate people, people are still going to get angry because they do not understand how tax assessment works. Okay? They try to, we talk about, it says in the website, wherever the market value, as close to market value. Everybody's used to market value as real estate, where you hire a real estate agent and they go out and they do a market analysis, and that's what your tax ought to be. And then they come in and they find out, holy, this is I never can remember the name, something digression computer system that we look at the market value they do to see are they close with theirs. But you have, even those of us who have been on the Board of Equalization for a number of years, it's still difficult to really grasp and try to explain to an appellant why that isn't what their real estate agent said it was. Okay, because then we have to ask, why did even an appraisal? Now, the board will look hard at an appraisal, okay? But we also have to explain, why did you get that appraisal? Did you get it for a bank? Did you get it to appeal this? Did you get it to sell? Because we all know that have been in the business for a long time, and I've been in real estate, they'll shove that a little bit this way or that on why you're getting the appraisal. The bank wants it a little higher or a little lower. Some real estate people higher or lower, it depends. So I think we can talk about it, and you can say, let's try to educate the public. And I love the idea of the community councils. I've been involved in community councils all my life, and it's like Fred said, you get 35, 40 people, and that's it. And they represent the all, and I'm telling you, those people don't need to be educated. because they know what's going on. So I'm glad that we talk here, but I just come to you as a citizen, and I wouldn't get too bent out of shape on people getting bent out of shape that their taxes are too high. Haven't had any come in and say it's too low, so, because they're going to complain anyway, and we listen to them, and we look at the evidence, and we do turn some around. Okay.
Thank you. All right. I don't see any more questions. I want to thank you for your time, for coming here today, for all of the hours of work that you do for the Board of Equalization on behalf of the city. Thank you so much.
A quick comment, if I may. It was clear right off the bat when we got started this season in the last week in March that we were going to have an issue with earthquake-related damage, because people were pulling their hair out trying to get engineers' reports and contractors' estimates, and I think you folks handled that very, very well, and really gave citizens that were intent on getting evidence the opportunity to bring that back in and get a corrected assessment. So I thank you for that.
Thank you.
And thanks for reacting to my comment that Mike sent a thank you to the members. Everybody got a thank you. And for those of us that have been perennial volunteers all our life in Anchorage, and it's nice, we don't get paid, as everybody knows. It's nice just to have somebody say, appreciate what you're doing. So thank you for all signing that card.
All right, thanks. With that, I'll go ahead and end the work.